The Man Who Changed a City Without Anyone Noticing, a story based on true events. No one notices him. He walks the same path every day at the same time, with the same calm posture and the same silent routine. He doesn't appear in headlines, give interviews, write books, or get on stages. He is not famous, not rich, not powerful, yet without almost anyone knowing, he helped save an entire city. This is a true story documented, studied by doctors, researchers, and sociologists. A story that contradicts almost everything we believe about health, success, and well-being. And the most impressive part, the secret of this story isn't in money, technology, or miracle diets. It lies in something so simple that, for that very reason, almost no one takes it seriously. In the 1950s in the United States, there was a small town called Roseto, in the state of Pennsylvania. It was an ordinary town, almost invisible on the map. Simple houses, short streets, small shops. Most of its residents were descendants of Italian immigrants who worked hard in quarries, factories, and construction sites. People who woke up early, came home tired, and repeated the same cycle every day. The Man Who Changed a City Without Anyone Noticing, a story based on true events. No one notices him. He walks the same path every day at the same time with the same calm posture and the same silent routine. He doesn't appear in headlines, give interviews, write books, or get on stages. He is not famous, not rich, not powerful, yet without almost anyone knowing, he helped save an entire city. This is a true story, documented, studied by doctors, researchers, and sociologists. A story that contradicts almost everything we believe about health, success, and well-being. And the most impressive part, the secret of this story isn't in money, technology, or miracle diets. It lies in something so simple that, for that very reason, almost no one takes it seriously. In the 1950s in the United States, there was a small town called Roseto, in the state of Pennsylvania. It was an ordinary town, almost invisible on the map. Simple houses, short streets, small shops. Most of its residents were descendants of Italian immigrants who worked hard in quarries, factories, and construction sites. People who woke up early, came home tired, and repeated the same cycle every day. Their diet was anything but healthy according to the medical standards of the time, and not even by today's. They ate a lot of bread, pasta, fatty sauces, meats, and homemade sweets. They drank wine frequently, many smoked. Almost no one did any intentional physical exercise. There were no gyms, no concern for calories, no balanced diets. By medical statistics, that town should have been a walking disaster. Heart disease was the leading cause of death in the United States at the time, especially among men over 50. But Roseto didn't follow this rule. And that's when something started to get attention. A doctor named Stuart Wolf noticed something strange when analyzing health data from the region. While neighboring towns had alarming rates of heart attacks, Roseto had virtually no deaths from heart problems. Men over 65 simply weren't dying of heart disease. Heart attacks were rare. The mortality rate was absurdly low, so low it seemed like a calculation error. Intrigued, the doctor decided to investigate. He gathered other professionals, statisticians, researchers, sociologists. They wanted to understand what made that town different. They started by analyzing the obvious. Genetics? No. The residents had the same genetic origin as people living in other cities who died normally from heart attacks. Diet? Also no. It was in fact worse than average. Physical exercise? Almost non-existent. Climate? The same as neighboring towns. Healthcare system? Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing explained it. Roseto seemed immune to something that killed millions of people across the country. It defied medicine. So the researchers decided to do something different. Live in the town. They spent months there. They talked with families, participated in lunches, observed routines, attended community parties, and sat at the table with the residents. And slowly, something began to reveal itself. Roseto wasn't just a place where people lived. It was a place where people belonged. Families lived close to each other. Many houses sheltered 3 generations. Grandparents, parents, and children shared the same roof or lived on the same street. Neighbors looked after each other's children. The doors were almost always open. If someone got sick, they were not alone. If someone lost their job, someone would show up to help. If someone was suffering, there was always company. There was no strong culture of competition. People didn't live comparing cars, houses, or status. There was no constant pressure to win at life. Success was collective, so was failure. There were fights, of course, but they rarely lasted. The community reorganized to maintain its bonds. The researchers came to a conclusion that at the time sounded almost absurd. The factor protecting that town was not physical. It was emotional and social. The sense of belonging, the constant support, and the absence of chronic loneliness were protecting the hearts of those people. Stress, which silently destroys the body over time, found no room there. In the 1950s, the small town of Roseto, Pennsylvania, was a medical mystery. Its residents, mostly Italian immigrants, had a diet that should have been a death sentence. They smoked, drank wine, and ate fatty foods. Yet heart attacks, the #1 killer in America, were almost non-existent there. Doctors were baffled. They studied genetics, water, and lifestyle, but found no answers. The secret wasn't in their diet or exercise, it was in their connections. In Roseto, 3 generations lived under one roof. Doors were always open. No one was ever truly alone. At the center of this was a man named Giuseppe Di Giacomo. He wasn't a mayor or a doctor. He was simply a resident who wove the community together, organizing festivals, mediating disputes, and ensuring no one was left behind. He was the town's invisible immune system. But as younger generations adopted a more modern, individualistic lifestyle, the communal bonds frayed. The shared meals and open doors became less common. And as the connections faded, the miracle of Roseto vanished. The town's heart attack rate began to climb, eventually matching the rest of the country. Roseto taught us a profound lesson. The deepest medicine for the human heart isn't found in a pill, but in the simple, powerful act of belonging. For decades, this invisible care sustained a support network that no one consciously noticed, but which directly impacted the health of the entire town. People's hearts were protected because their lives were not lived in isolation. But time passed, the new generations began to change. More individualism, more distant homes, fewer family meals, fewer community festivals, more comparison, more rush, more pressure. The culture began to align with the rest of the country. And then something unthinkable happened. The heart attack rates in Roseto began to rise, slowly but steadily, exactly like in the neighboring towns. That miracle disappeared. The town lost its invisible immunity. The data confirmed what the researchers feared. When the bonds broke, the protection was also gone. And here lies the true plot twist of this story. It wasn't the food that saved Roseto. It wasn't genetics, it wasn't medicine. It was the invisible care. It was presence, it was listening. It was belonging. Roseto proved with real data that loneliness can be more lethal than fat, sugar, or cigarettes. It proved that a healthy community protects the body as much as any medical treatment. And it proved that a single person, even without power, fame, or recognition, can change the destiny of thousands simply by connecting people. Perhaps you're expecting a grand, heroic lesson. Something grand, epic. But the truth is simpler and more uncomfortable. The world doesn't just need geniuses, leaders, or technologies. It needs people who care. Maybe you'll never save an entire town, but maybe someone will survive because you showed up, because you called, because you listened, because you didn't leave someone alone. And maybe, just like Giuseppe, no one will ever know.